It's Thursday, November the 11th. Beef Wars. We pause to remember the victims. Welsh huntsmen plead, at least let us have the sheep. Queen Mum remembers. Nope, it's gone again. Please don't give a moment's silence for the boy to entertain you, Ian Lee.
Welcome to the 11th 11 o'clock show on the 11th day of the 11th month at 11:35 or thereabouts. And thank you, my friends, for your enthusiastic applause, but I'm afraid on this solemn day your applause is rather inappropriate. That's right, people, it's Remembrance Day. There are many subjects I could address right now, but I just don't think they're really suitable. For instance, there's the skinny-dipping dipso drama teacher, Renata Williams, who didn't shag her school kids. Now, I knew the kids were lying, because when a 15-year-old claimed to give her an orgasm, kids, what do they know? What do they know? 15 years of age, and he still believes that women have orgasms. Yeah, all right. Well, they don't with me, anyway. But that is not an appropriate subject for today. The other 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, I hope you all observed 2 minutes silence, even in these busy times. I mean, just think what we could achieve in 2 minutes. I could have had sex. Twice. No. More than that, actually, but I do like a bit of a fumble about, so that's... As in, every year, wasn't it lovely to see the Queen Mum on a telly talking to the veterans? God bless her, she did so much for this country during the war, didn't she? She fought and died for us, didn't she? Hang on, my mistake, that was decent, ordinary, working-class people. Always get those two mixed up. Of course, she did do something. She revealed that she only had 6 inches in the bath. No, hang on, I'm still talking about the Queen Mum, by the way, not the drama teacher. Of course, during the war, a bomb did fall on Buckingham Palace. Just a tiny one, obviously. Why would the Germans want to bomb their own family? And it fell on the stables, so only Princess Anne was in any real danger. But many ordinary people risked their lives for us. I've always been told that my granddad was a desert rat. Turns out he's dyslexic. It was actually a deserter. But, you know, that's not really the point. The point is, he would have risked his life if he hadn't been a coward. And many people were not cowards. They did it for us. So I say, wear your poppy with pride. But please welcome the lady I've had pinned to my chest all day. It's the ever-poppy you lure, Daisy Donovan. So, Daisy, it's Remembrance Day. We'll never forget, but can we forgive the Germans?
Oh, of course we can, Ian. Without them, we'd never have had Boris Becker, Escape to Victory, or Stan Boardman.
Sauerkraut?
Nah, they've forgiven us too.
Daisy, tell us what's coming up in tonight's show.
We try and infiltrate the Tory camp at this year's party conference.
I'm not gay. Why should I vote Conservative as a young man?
You're not gay?
No.
Why should you vote Conservative? Do you?
Yeah.
What's gay got anything to do with it? What's gay got to do with it?
And Texan R.T. Fulton gets converted at the Rugby World Cup.
Now, when's USA going to come out here and kick some butt?
When's what?
USA going to come out
They've been out there, haven't they? But they didn't kick no butt, did they? I think they got their butts kicked in the USA.
Now here are the headlines. And today's top stories.
Hounded hunt protesters say there is no good reason why the blood sport shouldn't be replaced with drag hunting. They say it's the best way to control the local transvestite population. After the pro-hunt campaign in Cardiff yesterday, there was outrage in rural Wales over the realisation that incest is illegal.
Passionately love it. And if it is banned, then what do? I'm 22.
Amidst rumours that the Millennium Dome won't be finished on time, there are safety fears as electricians attempt a new high-speed method of putting in light bulbs.
At 11 o'clock this morning, 2 minutes silence was observed to remember the war. Of course, Americans kept talking and only joined in just before the end. Now, The Sun did its best to promote those 2 minutes of thoughtful silence. It had a really hard crossword.
This... Oh, yeah. This is the last Remembrance Day of the century, and we at the 11 o'clock show think it should not pass without a mark of respect. Whilst most of our audience are young people, we hope to make our pause for remembrance especially relevant to older viewers. And those are today's headlines.
To return to the day's top story, the news that with the deadline just hours away, the French still won't accept our beef.
Our correspondent Alex Lowe has filed this report from Brussels.
After their humiliating defeat in the rugby on Saturday against our Australian brothers, the French have decided to take it out on us. Despite saying that they would lift the ban on British beef imports, once again, the French have said no. As soon as the French announcement was made, Tony Blair came under fire from William Hague, who said, "On Monday you gave the French the third way, and on Wednesday they gave you the two fingers." To which Blair countered, "And in 5 minutes, I'm going to give you a knuckle sandwich." The Tories accused Euro-scaredy-cat Nick Brownpants of being too soft on the French and demanded his resignation. They called for a replacement who would be tougher in Europe. Suggestions for men who might be harder include Tony Hart, Charles Hawtrey, or Roland from Grange Hill. Earlier this week, Tony Blair seemed confident that the ban would be lifted after he had shown off by speaking to the French public in French.
Le bœuf est sain.
My name is Tony. I live London. I like swimming and volleyball.
The government has no wish to start a full-scale trade war with the French, as the British public would then be denied many French products now considered cornerstones of our society. As well as the French wines and cheeses that we all take for granted, Tony Blair asked Britons to imagine a country without naughty French negligés, fine art, and cinema films that actually show you a bit of muff. French car imports, which hold a strong position in the British market, would be affected, and the possible loss of such classics as the 2CV has caused outrage among tree huggers, lesbians and concerts. This row with France threatens the fundamentals of free trade. If we can't force a fellow member state to eat our poisoned meat, where does that leave the European Union? This is Alex Lowe, 11 o'clock show, the European Courts, Brussels.
Today's papers are full of the face of Renata Williams, the drama teacher and Susan Tully lookalike who's been cleared of having sex with one of her pupils.
The court had heard that during an expedition, Williams got drunk and swam naked in front of some schoolboys. Concern was raised when an essay by one of the lads entitled What I Did on My School Trip appeared in the letters page of Penthouse.
So if you're a teacher who's confused where to draw the line, don't panic. Here's a lesson especially for you. It's our screws and don'ts. Do.
Teach the class to add up and divide. Don't.
Encourage them to multiply.
Do.
Introduce your class to foreign tongues by showing them videos of French and German news broadcasts. Don't.
Introduce your class to foreign tongues by slamming on a tape of Spunkenheimer Felkenhaus.
Do.
Take them to study the skillful use of instruments in a production of Peter and the Wolf. Don't.
Get them to study the skillful use of instruments in Spunkenheimer Felkenhaus too.
Do.
Take double maths. Don't.
Take double penetration.
Do.
Supplement your income by offering your services as a private tutor. Don't.
Supplement your income by placing cards in phone boxes offering French lessons, physical education, O&A levels and full-blown penetrative sex. And those were our screws and don'ts. Now, it's the big fight this weekend, Lewis v Holyfield. You going to be watching it, Daisy?
Oh, absolutely not, Ian. I can't stomach the sight of heavyweight numbskulls bursting out of their shorts and slobbering over each other.
You don't like boxing?
Oh, no, I love boxing. It's the American fans I can't stand.
Fair comment. But what do the Americans think of us? Well, to find out, we stuck a camera on the front of a Yank and sent him to the World Rugby Cup final in Cardiff. Here's R.T. Fulton with his Americam report.
How you doing today? My name's R.T. Fulton, and I'm here at the World Cup of Rugby in Cardiff, Wales. And I'm going to go see if I can't find out what the hell's going on. How you doing today? How you doing today, sir? How you doing today, bud? Hey, bud. How you doing today, sir? R.T. Fulton. You might imagine, what the hell's going on around here?
Big rugby final here today.
So rugby's a sport?
Yeah. It's like American football, but tougher.
Y'all like rugby?
Love it.
I don't understand it. Rugby to me sounds like something that would sting a dog's ass. Get it? A rugby! There's a dog going rubbing his ass on the dog. And if the team was down there, he'd sting his ass. All right. USA gonna come out here and kick some butt.
When's what?
USA gonna
Well,
come
they've
out
been
here.
out here, haven't they? But they didn't kick no butt, did they? I think they got their butts kicked in the USA.
Let me ask you gentlemen a question. Do I look like some kind of dumb shit?
You look like someone who's enjoying themselves.
Exactly, sir. Now, somebody told me you can't be passing the ball forward. How the hell are you supposed to get forward if you can't pass it forward? Sorry about that, I just spat on it. What if y'all took your teams and switched them around the other direction? Then y'all could pass the ball forward. Whole problem solved right there. Heck, RT don't stand for retard. USA! 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 Come on, sir. Just join in with me. You know
I can do that. I wish we could do it, USA.
You are one kind gentleman, sir. Could you whisper in my ear again like that, sir? USA. Sir, what are you doing later? You want to go out for a beer or something?
I'm meeting up with some Aussie mates actually later, so I've got a pretty fixed itinerary.
I ain't doing nothing. Y'all take care, sir. I'm at the Holiday Inn if y'all want to drop by. Room 555. Y'all take care.
Coming up in part 2, my political odyssey ends with a trip to the Tory party conference.
And we'll be sparring with the world's best woman boxer, Jane Couch.
But before we go, some picture news. And President Clinton shocks peace talks by playing the pull my finger and I fart game. See you after the break. Come on, you flea bag.
Welcome back to the 11 o'clock show.
Now, as you may know, earlier this evening, Channel 4 made broadcasting history by showing some dwarf pornography. In case you missed it, here it is again.
But now, sports news. The papers are dubbing the England-Scotland match the Battle of Britain. But what's it all about, Alfie? We don't know, because I'm a girl and Ian's gay.
What?
You are, you just don't know it yet. So we sent our sports correspondent, Danny Boy, to find out more.
This Saturday, the Brave Hearts of Scotland take on the Lion Hearts of England in the first leg of 2 ties to determine who will go through to the Euro 2000 finals, and who's shit, and they know they are. There are mixed reports coming from both camps ahead of Saturday's big showdown. Good news for England fans, as midfield injury worries mean the possible return of the man that can do this.
That's fine, you can finish it here!
The bad news is he now looks like this. Meanwhile, Scotland manager Craig Brown faces a few selection problems of his own. Fortunately, both sides have settled on their mascots for the game. Scotland will employ this traditional symbol of Highland strength, the fearsome caber tosser, while England have selected to use a more conventional English tosser. You would have to fly to Bangkok to find a more mouth-watering tie than this. This is Danny Boy for the 11 o'clock show, Wembley.
The controversial new Brad Pitt movie Fight Club goes on cinema release tomorrow. To get an 18 certificate, some of the movie's more controversial scenes of bare-knuckle fighting had to be cut out. Fight! 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 Holyfield and Lewis!
Fight Club!
I, for one, can't wait!
Neither me! Who better to ask about all these macho shenanigans than the women's world welterweight boxing champ, Jane Couch?
Fight me, not a burr.
What?
You should fight me, never mind the burr.
You want to fight me?
Yeah.
Come on then, Jake. I'm
Yeah,
joking.
go
I really am
on.
joking. Pacifist.
I just got offered a tenner to knock you out.
Hang on, who offered you a tenner to knock me out?
Some cameraman backstage.
Yeah, he don't work here no more. As of just now. Now, Jane, you are the world welterweight boxing champion. Do you see boxing as a noble art, or do you just enjoy beating the shit out of people?
Yeah, brilliant.
You love
it.
Which celebrity would you most like to fight? Anyone in the world?
I'd like to beat up that Vanessa Feltz.
Oh, yeah. But that's an easy one, though. Now, please don't take offence to this. I'm just going to read a list.
If I take offence, I'll just knock you out.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking you not to. Now, you've been called a psycho.
I'm joking.
No, I know you're not. That's the thing. You've been called a psycho, an obscene curiosity, a freak, and a poodle-haired fanny basher. Last one. The last one, I made that this afternoon. But how does that make you feel, getting all that sort of stuff?
Oh, it's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
It just goes right over my head.
Really? Doesn't
bit
bother
daft,
you?
I think.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a boxer.
I'm really, really scared. Now, you've got to be concerned about the after effects of sport, because we all know examples of once proud professionals becoming incoherent and pitiful in appearance. I mean, just have a look at this fella.
Just look at me.
Do you want to have a fight?
Yeah, let's get on with it. Go on. No, we don't want to have a fight.
Do you think they should have a fight?
Yeah!
Oh, no, it's all right. I'll get in trouble.
Let's stay here.
Yeah, that bit's fine, you see. Yeah, it's just when you start doing the hitting shot run.
Oh! Okay, no, don't do that.
That really hurts because it wins you. That's your soul.
No, don't it. I know I'm going to get in trouble.
Oh, no!
Don't hit me anymore.
No, that one, you see. You've got, like, short ribs there.
Yeah,
Right
I can feel you punching them. No,
I'm
seriously...
I've got an important question to ask you. OK, last time you had a brain scan, it came back slightly damaged.
Yeah, you couldn't find it.
Lovely. There's lovely. Let's get off now and let's continue the interview seriously. Daisy, would you like to ask the rest of the following questions? I've just shit myself. I think I maintain my dignity, though. That's the main thing.
Yeah, definitely. We've got some footage here of two girls fighting. OK, what advice would you give them?
Mother! You hit me in the ear!
Now, that was Brad Pitt's new film, Fight Club. What did you think of their fighting technique?
It's crap.
Yeah, you think you can have them?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we've got a model of Brad Pitt here. If you're in that movie, show us how you'd punch him. And...
Oh, is that Brad, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah!
Ladies and gentlemen, Jane Couch!
A report out today claims that sick people who are prayed for get significantly better than those who aren't. Do you think there's power in prayer, Ian?
Well, definitely, Daisy. Only the other day I was on my knees in a church. I was sucking off a priest.
Jesus Christ!
No, he was just a priest, but he did have a beard, though.
But do the British public believe in prayer? I went to find out.
Who would I most like to have a one-to-one with? Not Ian Wright, God. And for that, you don't need a mobile. Just your hands and a head for prayer. Have you ever sinned? For example, have you stolen?
No, never.
Have you ever lied?
No.
Have you ever been tempted to touch yourself whilst watching Grandstand?
Nothing.
Praying for your bus.
Oh.
Any number?
What's wrong with it?
Well, it's going to come soon, isn't it? I hit a small boy on the head with a spoon. I wore a lizard mask outside of school. I tickled a dog's carriage. Can you say a prayer now? Just if we shut our eyes together.
I forgive this poor child for her sin of touching a dog's undercarriage. And I pray
Just carriage.
Just carriage, sorry. I pray that the Lord forgives her for her terrible sin.
You know, I just said...
Keep them shut, don't peek, you're not peeking. Now, are you going to have a vision? Open. Is that a vision?
A little door in front of you. Where do you go now? All right, sweetheart.
It's a miracle!
Yeah.
So there you have it. Miracles do happen in this day and age. This has been Daisy Donovan for the 11 o'clock show in London.
Now time for showbiz news.
80s hitmakers Stock Aitken and Waterman are locked in a court battle over who wrote their songs. The prosecution insists one of them will have to take responsibility.
And the Steps wage scandal continues. Apparently they're being paid.
Following the pay row, which has seen the girl steps paid less than the boy steps, scientists have started working on a new member of the band.
The band's management recently offered all the band performance-related pay. It's been rejected by all band members as they refuse to work for nothing.
Popular entertainer Jim Davison reveals another side to his personality of the week with the release of this CD. It's a collection of musical favourites and ballads performed with his own unique interpretation. Here's the advert. And that was today's showbiz news. Daisy, have you ever felt that there must be more to life than just constant nihilism and poking fun at people?
Oh, who cares, you lanky twat?
Well, I care. So, in the final part of my political odyssey, I went to see if the Tories really can make a difference.
A few years ago, the Conservative Party were the most popular and therefore the best in the country. Their long run of general election wins throughout the 80s and early 90s guaranteed them a warm place in the nation's heart. Then suddenly they were rubbish and lost everything. I've come here to the Conservative conference in Blackpool to see if this forgotten party is the one for me. The Tories win hands down on conference location. Classy Blackpool oozes fun. But that can wait, because I've got myself a very important date with Tory MP Bill Cash. Maybe he can convince me that right is right for me. Which party has the most fun?
I think that the Conservative Party has the most fun, and we do, from time to time, different generations have massive debates.
When did the Tory party last have a mass debate?
Well, we're always having mass debates. We're having one at this party conference, for example.
So, just in conclusion, that having a mass debate in a hall with the Tory party, that's fun?
Well, I personally regard it as interesting and exciting.
So, I think I've got a pretty good understanding of Tory manifesto, but as the saying goes, all policy and no fun makes Ian Lee a dull boy. So I'm off to see whether these fun-loving fascists can convince me to join their party. Do you think I look like a Tory?
Not necessarily, no. No.
How about if I do this? Is that more like it?
In all shapes and sizes.
Now, I'm not gay. Why should I vote Conservative as a young man?
You're not gay?
No.
Why should you vote Conservative as a young man?
Yeah.
What's gay got anything to do with it? What's gay got to do with it?
Nothing really. I was just, saying as an example, I'm not a gay man. Why should I vote Conservative?
Why? You think all Conservatives are gay?
Yes. What's more important, politics or love?
I don't know. I've had politics, but I haven't any love.
You've had no love?
The proposition.
It could be. No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
Who's your favourite out of the Tories?
It's not Michael Portillo.
Why, he's actually gay. Yes. Excuse me, sorry. Mrs Thatcher, we're filming a late-night faction entertainment show for Channel 4. Can I ask what's it like being at the conference again, Mrs Thatcher? Thanks very much, Margaret Thatcher. So that was a Tory party conference and the last leg of my political odyssey. I came to Blackpool expecting to find a bunch of humourless, cold-hearted Nazis, but boy, was I ever wrong. And although I don't exactly condone their policies to flog vagrants and reintroduce the death penalties into schools, I must admit, I kind of like these guys. This has been Ian Lee, the 11 o'clock show, Blackpool.
Ian, you've been to all the party conferences now. Which one takes your fancy?
Well, it was a hard choice, so I went for the one that gives you the best starter pack, and that's the Tories. Honestly, it's brilliant. You get this certificate, you get your very own membership card, and best of all, you get this great magazine. It's got news, interviews, and I had a real laugh this afternoon doing the Michael Portillo word search.
Some late news before we go. Ken Livingstone's campaign for mayor suffers a blow as running mates Sooty and Sweet pull out. Good night.
Good night.